Hi, again. We have a few minutes before I have to leave, and it's Sunday, June 8th. And Jim, who you met last time, is off at a pickleball tournament, and I will go be supportive, but it's a very slow start, so I'll go catch up with him later on, I guess. I'll go pick up, he's on a team with my friend Debbie and a couple other people, and I'll go pick up Debbie's husband, and we'll go there when it starts to get more exciting, I guess. So I've been so productive while he's been gone. I washed my car because it's getting disgusting, and I don't want to take it all the way to the car wash, and I've done some alpaca-y things, which I'm excited to show you, and I was like, hey, let's film a podcast, because for sure no one's going to walk in on me. So, first of all, I am wearing my sweater number 15 by My Favorite Things Knitwear. I love this sweater. I knit it with Farmer's Daughter fibers. I forgot the exact yarn, but, oh, this is Bonkers. Bonkers, say hoy. This is my 20-pound cat. Okay, you can't snag my sweater, though. I got this yarn when I went to Montana with my mom about a year ago. I think a year ago this month in June. I love it. When I first knit it, actually, of course, like, before you block it, all the ribbing is like, it's all scrunched up. I kind of liked it better before I blocked it, so I might actually knit it again in a size smaller. Oh, I need this. Can I have it? You can, okay, you can sit on it, whatever. I don't really need what's inside. Okay, so, love this pattern. It seems kind of complicated because of all the cables and stuff, but it's not. Cables are, don't be scared of cables. You can do it. I would also maybe do a tapered, I don't know how to do that. I don't know how to modify the pattern to do a tapered sleeve. My Favorite Things Knitwear has so many variations of patterns. There's a new one too that looks exactly like this one. That maybe that one has tapered sleeves. This is cozy, but I can't do anything in it because of a sleeve like this. I much prefer a sleeve that's like tapered so I can do things, because this I'm gonna drip and things. So yeah, I would definitely knit this again. And this yarn is delightful. I don't think oh yeah, it is pilling a little bit, but not in like a terrible way. You could just shave it off or whatever, do one of those anti-pilly sweater thingamajiggers. So since last time, so last time I told you there was a thingy going on, a knit along, and that is called the Pride Pod Mal. I am not officially part of that, but I am doing a knit along. I am knitting along with it, and that is by Gary Knits, Gary Rides. First of all, if you don't know about that podcast, check it out. I really love it. Gary Knits, Gary Rides is Gary, and he's in the Bay Area, San Francisco Bay Area somewhere. He might be in San Francisco proper, but I'm not sure. I stumbled upon him because of the YouTube algorithm, and love his podcast. He is at the intersection of knitting and activism. So he always talks about like ways you can be just kind of like a good person with your knitting, and is always giving you information about things that are going on in the kind of activism world, and kind of where that intersects with knitting. And so he is officially part of the Pride Pod Mal, and that is, I think, 3 or 4 podcasters who are kind of hosting that. So to kind of jump into whips, I cast on last Thursday, June 1st or 2nd, my socks that I showed you, my sock set from Moss and Fern Studios. This is the Trans Resilience sock set, and I am going to do fraternal twins socks, and do the blue one will have blue cuffs and toes with a pink heel, and then the pink one will have pink cuffs and toes with a blue heel. I haven't figured out what kind of heel I'm going to do, because I don't want to mess up the perfect patterning that's going on. Funny story, I switched to the main sock color, and this was a 100-gram ball. Actually, I weighed it. It was 110 grams, so very generous. And then after I did the cuffs, I thought to weigh the little, oh, Bonkers is gone, so I can show you. I thought to weigh the mini things that came with it. These are supposed to be 20 grams, and after I knit the cuffs, they're still 21 grams. So very generous skeins from the dyer over there. And the Pride Pod Mal is something in the vein of knit or make something with a product, you know, a yarn or pattern from a queer maker. And so this dyer identifies as queer, and also these are trans flag socks, and also the proceeds from the socks went to the Trans Law Center. So what was I talking about? Oh yeah, so I put on the main sock color, and I was like, oh shoot, they're pooling weird. Like, this probably isn't what they're supposed to look like. They're probably supposed to be like more speckly or like mixed together. The skein came out when I unwound the hank. It was like pink, blue, and then like these like white patches. And I was like, oh, this is probably supposed to be blended together a little bit better, whatever. So I kept knitting, and then I realized it's doing like a perfect slanty pride flag triangle-y angular shape. Like, I don't know if that's on purpose, but props, because that is bloody genius and gorgeous. Very narrow pool, not even pooling, not even flashing. It's not a stripe. It is just fantastic. The pattern I'm using is one of my absolute favorites. I kind of forgot how much I love it. I did, let me show you actually, hold on. I did, this, ow, I did, it's great for like, just regular variegated socks. It's great for, solid colors, I suppose. I don't need a lot of completely solid color socks. It's great for, striped socks. So here's just, a Knit Picks Felici socks. I finished these a long time ago. Oh, glad I got these out. I need to count how long these are so I know how to make these ones. So this is Knit Picks Felici, and this is the Crunkled socks by Kay Jones of the Bakery Bears. She doesn't have a Instagram handle, but the pattern is on Ravelry, Kay Jones Bakery Bears. It's like $5 or $6 for the pattern. 100% worth it. I don't know how many times I've knit this. Very easy to memorize, very easy to count to see where you are, and completely addictive. Really hard to just stop knitting the leg. So I'm going to do, I think this is done. I'm doing these in tandem so that I don't have to like keep track and then do the second one. So I'm going to get this pink one caught up to the blue one and then do the heel. Yeah, really easy to see how many rows you've done if you have any clue how to read your knitting at all. You don't even have to be like a genius at counting your knitting, reading your knitting. And you can kind of see the difference. This is, of course, unblocked, and then this is blocked. And they're really cozy because it's kind of like a knit purl combination, and switching from knit purl kind of gives that little bit of extra yarn and gives you that little bit of extra fabric. So while they look quite narrow, they do give you a lot of stretch. And these are both 64 stitch socks, so they do get very stretchy. Love these. So kind of like one step up from a vanilla sock, just to keep your brain engaged. Love crunkled socks. So this is what I'm making. And I think Gary's doing prizes, and maybe the other podcasters are too. I'm not familiar with the other podcasters. I haven't checked them out yet, but I definitely will. And so those are my little trans flag. My 6.5-year-old bonus kid asked it was really funny. She, of course, just saw these and was like, that was her exact reaction. I was like, I thought you would like these because pink. And then they're also very cotton candy-y and unicorny. And kind of out of nowhere, she goes, what is that pattern? And in retrospect, she might have meant like, what is the stitch pattern? But at the moment, I thought she meant, what is the color pattern? And so we got into this conversation about Pride Month and what the trans flag was. And so kind of got a chance to explain to her what all that was. And we explained what it meant to be transgender. And she kind of got it. It was really cool. So we explained to her why we celebrate Pride Month and why we're supportive of people who are celebrating Pride Month and why we celebrate Pride Month with them. It was really awesome. So, oh, and I got to explain to her that we have a transgender friend and that she had met them, and she didn't remember, of course, but it was like last fall or winterish time. But we explained that she'd met Les and that I gave Les my other sock set that came, and why we love our transgender friends. It was so great. And then let's go to FOs. Last time I was all excited that I had another FO, and I had forgotten to show you. It was my spinning. I spun this from Divine Dye Works on Etsy. This was 6 ounces of combed top Corriedale. I forgot how many yards I got out of this, but actually quite a bit, because I was able to spin this a little bit thinner than my first ever spin, which I'll show you in a sec. This was like it's called Child's Play. It was like a very bright pink and blue, yellow, crazy. Again, my 6.5-year-old girl was obsessed with it. But it came out a little bit muddied. I don't know how to I don't know what a fractal spin is. I'm not a technical spinner at all. No idea what I'm doing. In fact, I think I decided I don't really like spinning with colored yarn. Colored fiber that's like dyed in the fiber already, unless it's like a single color. I have 2 more, actually they're right here. I have these 3 Waters Farms. I have this green. I have, this is called Desert Wash. I'm going to spin this one completely. I'm not going to worry about like splitting it a certain way. I don't know what any of that means. I don't know what it's called when you split it down a certain way, or when you go across back and forth. I don't know what any of that's called. If you want to hear someone talk technically about spinning correctly, go listen to Needles at the Ready. They're way smarter at it than I am, but they're also very inspiring, and I get a lot of inspiration from them. But anyway, I'm going to spin this one separately and this one separately, and then ply these together. But that's down the road quite a ways, because as you know, maybe, I am... How did these get down here? My stinking cat just stole these. I got a new coffee pot. Stay focused. Okay, here we go. So, I'm on an alpaca journey. So those are going to wait. I'll get to the alpaca in a second. So I'm just going to spin those and ply them together. So this looks kind of muddy. Because I have no idea what I'm doing. But who cares? It's still yarn. It's still plied. It's still kind of cool. What I think I'm going to do with this is make a ginormous Sophie scarf so that I use all of it. Potentially. Weighing it's going to be a little weird because it's not perfectly even. We'll cross that bridge when we get to it. But I think this will make a really cool chunky Sophie scarf, and then put little pom-poms on the end. I think that'll be kind of neat. So my first ever spin was this. This was just some cruddy Corriedale I got off of Amazon. And then I kind of speckle dyed it with some black acid dye that I had around. And this is so chunky and not at all even. And everyone will tell you, especially Needles at the Ready, knit with your yarn. And then Nitty Natty Love and Stitches podcast, I heard her say first, knit with your first spin before you do another spin. So that's what I did. I knit with this, and that will kind of give you an idea of like what your spinning is like. I don't know that I learned a whole lot from it. I did learn though that my spinning is awesome, even if it's really terrible. Even though I was like kind of bummed that this wasn't perfect my first try. It's never going to be perfect. I still loved it, and it still came out really awesome, and I was so proud that I just like couldn't wait to do my next one. So in my first spin, I knit this huge hat. This is called the I wrote it down somewhere. Oh, the Gimme All the Cables Toque by Andrea Kemper. And this is meant to be knit with like a super bulky yarn. So that's what I have. And I have this much left over out of the 6 ounces. But look at it. I think it needs a pom-pom. I think it's quite cute, and boy, is it warm. Yes, it is so thick. I have not tried this on since I got my hair cut. I used to have quite longer hair. But it's a hat, and I made it from wool to hat all by myself, and I even dyed it. I don't think I'll be dyeing a lot more wool, and spinning it and all that, but because that's just unnecessary, but that just got me so much more inspired to keep spinning. So this is my first ever spin, second ever spin. And then I also have in progress some alpaca. I think I mentioned last time that I got some raw alpaca, and I have some things to show you. I thought I could show you some rolags that I made, but I've spun them all up because I got too excited. So my first alpaca, this is Marty. This is all clean. I've cleaned Marty, and I got some carders, but they're too small. They're kind of meant for blending wool for making felted little stuffy things, little critters and stuff. So I have some big, really nice ones coming tomorrow, Monday. So I carded it all by hand, and I'm going to stick to doing it by hand for now. Maybe next year I'll get a drum carder, but I like what I get out of my carders, my little hand carders. I'll show you. I got some Wool Buddy carders, which I did not realize how tidy they were. I thought that these were legit, and they're not. So these are about 100 and something, like little teeth per square inch. So you just put them on like this, and you just comb it, which if you were ever like a kid who was obsessed with combing your Barbie's hair or your doll's hair, this is one of the most satisfying activities ever. And even though it takes quite a bit longer than a drum carder would probably, it's way cheaper. These were like $30, and these were quite a bit more expensive than some of them on Amazon, because it's like a brand, and the rest were like just like a Chinese snow brand. And you do like this, get it off. See, there's still some stuff in there that's like not combed and nice and straight. So you have to do that until it gets all completely straight. So I got the nicest ones I could, because, you know, I'm like that, and also I want to make sure I kind of do this right. These are still way too small, so I have ginormous ones coming tomorrow, and real carders for doing this the right way are quite a bit bigger, but they are expensive. I got the most affordable ones I could find, and they were like $85 before shipping and all that. So I spent another $100 on this free alpaca that I got. My free alpaca is turning out to be very much not free. And then it becomes just so soft. And then, so I don't know if this is totally ready, but I'll pretend it is. So let's just get this on one side. I'll show you a rolag. Now, if you're watching this and you have a clue what you're doing and you're like, wow, she does not, apologies. I'm still learning. I am doing this all by myself and figuring it all out. So you kind of roll it off and you get this little hot dog. Yeah, it definitely still needs to be done a little bit. And then you can kind of like pre-draft it. And oh my God, it's real fleece. I would say wool, but it's not wool, it's fleece. It's like, it looks real, it's legit. And then you can spin it. And here's my little Ashford Spinner 3. And I have alpaca yarn. Can you believe it? And so I've run out of stuff to spin, but now I don't. Now I have one, sort of. I need to do it again. But it's real, and I'm actually getting pretty good at being consistent. I had a little over twist situation right here, and it looks absolutely awful, but I panicked yesterday and kind of messed it up, but whatever. I'm able to get it pretty thin now and pretty consistent, and having a freaking blast. So this is Marty. Marty is gray and blackish and is kind of speckled. Love this color, really great. And then I have a whole bag of white. I don't know this alpaca's name, but this one's also all clean. And I have at least another whole bag that's drying right now that's all clean. So this also has to be all carded. I won't be around for all of July for Tour de Fleece, but I will do a lot of spinning in July, hopefully. So here's some white, and then I just took out, Reba is a red alpaca. So Reba has had her first wash. I just took her out of her first wash this morning. So here's some wet alpaca. Only still smells a little bit. I think my secret weapon is going to be Dawn Platinum dish soap. I washed the white. White is really hard to wash to get all the dirt off the tips, to get it like snow white. I used Unicorn Fibers Power Scour, and it probably took like 5 or 6 washes with a plethora of product. And I used Unicorn Power Scour. One of you left a really great comment for me on the last video, by the way, because I almost felted Marty. And then I used a lot more soap in the first big initial soak with the white, and didn't worry about using hot water. Let it soak overnight. With a lot more Power Scour in that one. That was the first time I used Power Scour. And I didn't worry that it was hot or not. And so the hose that I have outside starts off really cold, but it warms up a little bit if you let it run. And so that helps a lot. Power Scour, a lot more soap than I had used in the first time with this one. And let it soak for a lot longer. And that did a lot more work. So I didn't have any trouble felting that. No felting whatsoever. So once this gets all clean, I put it in between every wash, I put it through the salad spinner, and then that gets out the dirty water, most of the dirty water. Then I wash it a couple more times, rinse it. Like, this definitely needs to be rinsed to get the dish soap out of it. I also have a bottle of lavender shampoo upstairs that I stopped using a long time ago. So I use that for one wash. And then once it's all rinsed, there's no more soap in it, and the water is coming out clear consistently. There's no more dirt in the water. Then I know it's good to go. Then I get it really, really spun out. And then I just like pull it apart like this and get it all spider webby. And then I hang it up in these like toy baskets. Those like multi-layer mesh things. And right now that's where the other white is hanging. And then just let it dry in the window. And then it's good to go and ready to be carded and then spun. So I just go like this to get it out. And then stretching it out like this gets even more of the vegetable matter out. And then another chance also to pick out any guard hairs. And guard hairs are like the big ones that kind of look like human hairs. And those are the ones that grow on top of the fleece to protect the alpaca from the weather. But yeah, this is a really nice batch in my hand right now. Very fleecy, very nice. So that's Reba. Ugh. Now it's all stuck to me. And of course, because she's a redhead. That is my alpaca benefactor's favorite alpaca. And Reba and Marty are best friends, which I think is adorable. If you want to check out some more stuff about my alpaca, I am Burly Knits on Instagram. You can follow me there and follow more knitting and stuff and alpaca stuff on there. BERLYKNITS. I'll put it down in the thingamajig too. So that's alpaca adventures. One more whip. Since last time, oh gosh, since last time, I've worked on my honeycomb shawl quite a bit. I have finished knitting all of the colors one time, so now I'm circling back through. The last time we spent a lot of time talking math, and I believe to do all of them twice would take about 260 grams. So I think to get it as wide as I would like to do this one, 200 grams of mini skeins is not going to cut it. So if Haverland Yarn comes out with a third Goosebumps, I'm 100% going to get it and do another one. But we'll see how big this gets. I don't think I knit my last one as big as I plan to knit this one. So if I have 33 colors, and every row is really like every row doesn't increase one more time. It takes 2 rows to increase one more time. So really, when I am done, it will be 33 little nuggets across when I'm done doing every color twice. And that will be about, did I write this down here in my other notebook? I believe that will be about, yeah, so 33 will be 250 grams. So 33 will be like 17 and 17. I'm not going to do all this again to you. So anyways, you need about 250 grams, I think, to do 30. It'll be 33 across, and then the next one 34. So the first 34 across. And I don't know if that's like a proper place to end as far as the pattern goes, or if you should do the second 34. This is not helpful. But what I'm trying to say is I do not think 250 grams is quite going to cut it. I mean, 200 grams is quite going to cut it. So this guy is marking this little Freddy Krueger. If you want one of these, message me. I can hook you up. I made a bunch of these, and I have other little evil guys too. Movie bad guys. So this is the first line of the repeat of all the colors. I'm not repeating them in the exact same order. I'm not keeping track of that. I am just putting them in the bag saying I've used it and then grabbing a next color randomly. So I have done 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 colors of the 33 again. And here she is. She's amazing. Here's the back. Also pretty cool. And then when you block it, it gets real hexagony. That's that. This is almost out. This is a 100 gram ball of not hedgehog fibers. The rest hedgehog fibers, mini skeins, etc. Ooh, I got a club from Hedgehog Fibers. I bought it before last week, okay? So I haven't bought any more yarn since last time. The Beanie Brigade doesn't count either. Otherwise, I'm not buying any more yarn. I don't think I'm buying any yarn in June. I promise I'm not buying any yarn in June unless it's automatically being sent to me. That doesn't count. Those are the whips. That's it. Finished objects. That spin from last time. And then also I think the only finished object this time is this. This I started in October 2024, and I knit one entire mitt in like a weekend, and then cast on and did this much of the mitt right away. And then I kind of forgot about them. And then I was like, we need to start finishing some flipping projects. Oh, hey, guess what? Jim won the first game. Me and Mike something missed the rest of it. So they won the first game. That's great. They're moving on. So these are my mitts. These are from these are the Doodle fingerless mitts from Jamie Lomax. She does the really fabulous Doodle decks and all that. But I got the Doodle book that came out a little while ago, around October actually, because I bought it instantly and then started knitting. And then I designed these. Oh, I can't show you. It's on my iPad. I drew up how I wanted the mitts. This like long mitt thing is in the book. And she gives you instructions about like, you need to have a big pattern here, and it works out perfectly so that your thumb gusset lands right in the, I put these on backwards. Didn't I? Yeah. Hold on. They go on the other hand. There's a way I know that, but you don't care. So, yeah, that felt weird. There's a, so that, oh, much better. So these, you put a big pattern right here, and then the thumb gusset is like really easy to place right exactly here. And then you can put however many of these little thingies here, big ones, little ones, whatever you want. And then you can put, you put your stretchy bits here and your stretchy bits here, and voila. This is just some leftover. I have no idea what yarn it was. In fact, I threw away the green because I had some mothy, bitey bits. Yeah, threw it away. And I still have some black and gray. I think I'm just going to give it away to my little yarny group. And those are those. I love them. They're fabulous and very cozy. Highly recommend the book. There is one, oh yeah, actually this pattern, there's an error in it. I messaged her. I don't know if she understood what I meant, but it doesn't match up if you repeat it. Like right here, the edges are not actually, they don't line up. Little word of advice, but it needs actually a line taken out of it to actually match up. But you can see what she was going for. But if you're just using it once on a mitt, it doesn't matter because no one can tell. But if you were to repeat it across something, it would be real goofed up. But hey, one little mistake in a whole book, that's pretty good. Another thing I wanted to mention, June 14th is Worldwide Knit in Public Day. That is next weekend. It's also, there's a big No Kings protest that week. Gary Knits, Gary Rides, probably talk about that. But so those are some things coming up. I will be knitting in public in Monterey, California. And with my 6.5-year-old, I'm gonna make her knit. She was so into knitting. She's doing such a great job. And now I have to like twist her arm to make her knit. But I think I mentioned, she's working on this cashmere scarf in the tiniest yarn. And I think she's bored of it. But I think if we convince her that it's really cool and we'll bring cookies or something, maybe she'll go knit. So there's a big event happening in Monterey somewhere, and we'll go to that. And then check out the Gary Knits, Gary Ride podcast. And then also another podcast that I watch all the time, and like I wish I could watch more because I wish she would put out content every day, is the M to the Third podcast. She put out a podcast very recently, one of her more recent ones, about the rise in conservatism in knitting. And it's so funny that she brought this up because it was like something I was thinking about, sort of, without like really formulating concrete thoughts. But she talks about, I should have taken better notes. Go watch it, because I was having these weird thoughts about how like my knitting is very not conservative lately, and it usually is. But I'm knitting like so many bright colors and I normally don't. Not a great example, but this is a great example. This is a great example. This is a good example of how I would normally knit. But I feel like really drawn to knitting crazier things lately. And she talks about how right now we're kind of in this, it seems to be like cool to be conservative. And she talks about like petite knits is a very conservative, they're very conservative patterns. They're like timeless. And there's nothing wrong with that at all. But those are very popular right now. And she's saying all of this way better than I can summarize them. But she talks about how she is feeling this need to protest through her knitting. And that's a way that you can do that, is just like being loud through your knitting. And yeah, there's also like, there's like religious conservatism that's like very like okay. And there are people sending messages that they are okay saying things a bit more blatantly not okay. People were kind of more timid about being, people were more timid about saying certain things, that now they are okay being very out in the open with their message about how they feel about certain things. And those of us who are not on board with that should be a little bit louder about that. And if you don't know my position on certain things, now you do. Yeah, conservative crafts, not conservative values is what you're going to get over here. So, yeah, check out M to the Third. Really, really thoughtful talk. And it was something that she had like thought about scripting out, but then it just wasn't working out. So she has a really nice, thoughtful chat about that. So check that out. Highly recommend it. That's my recommendation for the week. And have a good rest of the week, and happy summer if you have kids that are around. Godspeed, and have a great summer, and knit some bright colors, but knit your conservative things too, if that makes you happy. But yeah, to be loud, be proud, and happy Pride Month. And I'll talk to you in a couple weeks. Bye.